sound, and the steps melted together to make a long, smooth stone slide, like a helter-skelter. There was a brief moment when Ron tried to keep running, arms working madly like windmills. Then he toppled over backwards and shot down the newly created slide, coming to rest on his back at Harry's feet. I don't think we're allowed in the girls' dormitories, said Harry, pulling Ron to his feet and trying not to laugh. Two fourth-year girls came zooming gleefully down the stone slide. "Oh, who tried to get upstairs?" They giggled happily, leaping to their feet and ogling Harry and Ron. "Me," said Ron, who was still rather disheveled. "I didn't realize that would happen. It's not fair," he added to Harry as the girls headed off for the portrait hole, still giggling madly. "Hermione's allowed in our dormitory. How come we're not allowed?" "Well, it's an old-fashioned rule," said Hermione, who had just slid neatly onto a rug in front of them and was now getting to her feet. "But it says in Hogwarts A History that the founders thought boys were less trustworthy than girls. Anyway, why were you trying to get in there?" "To see you. Look at this," said Ron, dragging her over to the notice board. Hermione's eyes slid rapidly down the notice. Her expression became stony. "Someone must have blabbed to her," Ron said angrily. "They can't have done," said Hermione in a low voice. "So naive," said Ron. "You think just because you're all honourable and trustworthy?" "No, they can't have done, because I put a jinx on that piece of parchment we all signed," said Hermione grimly. "Believe me, if anyone's run off and told Umbridge, we'll know exactly who they are, and they will really regret it." "What'll happen to them?" said Ron eagerly. "Well, put it this way," said Hermione. "It'll make Eloise Midgen's acne look like a couple of cute freckles. Come on, let's get down to breakfast and see what the others think. I wonder whether this has been put up in all the houses." It was immediately apparent on entering the Great Hall that Umbridge's sign had not only appeared in Gryffindor Tower. There was a peculiar intensity about the chatter and an extra measure of movement in the hall as people scurried up and down their tables, conferring on what they had read. Harry, Ron and Hermione had barely taken their seats when Neville, Dean, Fred, George and Ginny descended upon them. "Did you see it? Do you reckon she knows? What are we going to do?" They were all looking at Harry. He glanced around to make sure there were no teachers near them. "We're going to do it anyway, of course," he said quietly. "Knew you'd say that," said George, beaming and thumping Harry on the arm. "Prefects as well," said Fred, looking quizzically at Ron and Hermione. "Of course," said Hermione coolly. "Here come Ernie and Hannah Abbott," said Ron, looking over his shoulder. "And those Ravenclaw blokes, Smith. And no one looks very spotty." Hermione looked alarmed. "Never mind spots. The idiots can't come over here now. It'll look really suspicious. Sit down," she mouthed to Ernie and Hannah, gesturing frantically to them to rejoin the Hufflepuff table. "Later. We'll talk to you later." "I'll tell Michael," said Ginny impatiently, swinging herself off her bench. "The fool, honestly." She hurried off towards the Ravenclaw table. Harry watched her go. Cho was sitting not far away, talking to the curly-haired friend she had brought along to the hogshead. Would Umbridge